sky, that is what you are. Breathe and you know you're alive. Feel the beat of your heart. Well, life is a crazy way of turning everything upside down. So move with the time that you have. The world will keep spinning round. Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine and go out and play. Listen, I wanna be there with you no matter where you go. Life is a table for two, and we're starting the show. Well, I'm gonna spread my wings and fly so high up above the clouds. You know that time doesn't wait for your dreams. We're living right here and now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Live for today. Keep chasing the sunshine.
Hello, my friends, and welcome. This is not my normal time to do a live, so I realize it is a Saturday evening. However, I had a very busy week and got home today and thought I saved doing my Scrappy Short video that I usually release on Saturday mornings for tonight, because I thought it'd be fun just to go live and just do something different. I know I've done my Scrappy Shorts live before, and everyone seems to really like them. And so, hi Luann, hi April, thank you guys for popping in. Hopefully we get a couple people. If you want to grab your scrap bucket and craft along, I decided when I got home, I dumped out my scrap bucket and tried to figure out what to do. And so what I've done for tonight, and I'm going to get really ambitious here, and I got a whole bunch of cards planned, so I'm going to try to race through the ideas of my scrap bucket. I've narrowed this down to 3 categories out of my scrap bucket tonight. Pre-colored images. So this is stuff like this that I've colored and never made a card out of it. Just thought I was coloring it, liked it, save it for later, I'll make a card out of it. So it's stuff like this that's been colored and just haven't ever done anything with it. So pre-colored images. Number 2, backgrounds. And so this is stuff like this stuff that we always make backgrounds of. I had this that I stamped out, and I don't know why I didn't finish it. So I'm considering this a background for tonight. It's black and white on watercolor paper. So any background type of thing. And then the last category is tester papers. And so what I mean by that, and if you guys could give me a thumbs up in the chat, I can hear myself in my earphones, and my mic is on, so I'm assuming you guys can hear me, but give me a thumbs up if you can hear me just to make sure before I get too far into this. Tester papers. Here is what I consider tester papers. I don't know about you guys. Let me grab a couple here that I already pulled out. I don't know about you guys, but when I am making cards and then I get an ink pad out or a marker out, I'm like, oh, what tone is that? I can't remember what tone is that. So you just end up smushing a piece of your ink pad on there just to get the tone. So you can see at one point I was trying to find the right shade of blue, a couple purples. Here's one with, I was trying to find the right shade of brown with a little bit of rust in it. This one, I overjuiced my ink pad, and so I just started stamping it out. And then this one, I was swiping different colors to see how an ink pad would swipe. So, and then there's other stuff in the back. So we're going to actually, oh, thank you, Luann. We're going to actually make cards out of these. And if you've watched any of my Scrappy Shorts series, you know I don't throw anything away. Literally don't throw anything away. Everything to me, I can make a card out of. I'll be honest. This one here, there's little scratches on it. Not maybe I can get the down camera to find it. Where I was trying to get a gel pen to work. I don't care. That's to me the beauty of these papers is, if there's a story behind that, and I'm gonna add some color to this, to what we're gonna do with this one tonight. Okay, so, and then other background. Oh, here's another pre-made one I got out, and then a background. I was trying out a new scripted background. I had a puppy thing here that I tried it on. We're gonna make something out of this, I think, tonight too. I'm really ambitious, and I just stocked up on a whole bunch of die cuts from Pink and Main, and I am so addicted. So we're gonna do some embossing. We're gonna do some die cutting with some stuff. Simple, simple layouts. I don't want these to be complicated. I want these to be easy. Focal point, element, embossing, or something in the background. Boom, done. You got yourself a card. My stupid camera always adjusts when I move my hands too much, and then we'll make it stop. There we go. All right. So I am going to get started with these cards. I'm going to show you what I pulled out of my stash here. And then I've got kind of stuff stacked all over. Crazy mess tonight. And I just thought, this is Scrappy Day. I don't care how messy it is. We're going to go for it. So feel free to follow along. I gave you these perimeters because if you want to go through your stash really quick as I talk here just for a couple more minutes and follow along, by all means, I encourage it. Go for it. Let's just scrap together and de-stash that scrap bucket. So again, your three categories are pre-coloreds, backgrounds, and tester papers for tonight. Okay, let's go down to the down camera. Before I do that, I had it up at the very beginning. If you are watching and you are new here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Would love to have you guys follow me on YouTube as well as Instagram. And I got all kinds of stuff I'm posting. I've got these series. I've got design team stuff. I've got my own stuff. Haven't gone live on my own stuff for a while, and I've got to get better at that. But work has been insane. So let's go to the down camera, show you my mess here on the table. All right, here's what I have. These are all the stuff I tried to pull out from my categories, right? So here's some pre-coloreds. I was going to do these tonight, but I was like, I don't want to do square, so I wasn't in the mood. These are some pre-dones. I just got to fit. I got to do something to these. I need something. Some tags that I'd pre-made that I didn't do anything with. So you can see these backgrounds, right? Then I had, here's a tester paper one. I was testing out a technique with rubber bands. Here's another tester. I was testing Sky that I was actually we're gonna try tonight with a new brush. So you can kind of see, I had pre-cut in my scraps some with the Cricut that I'd made some bookmarks with. So this is where I was heading. I've got my stuff pulled out. I'm gonna put this stuff aside, and I already have a feeling tonight could get messy on the table, but that's okay. I don't know about you guys. I have been so crazy at work. I just need a night not to do anything for a design team. I need a night just to scrap and have fun. And I got ambitious to do this Scrappy Live. All right, what I want to start with is, let me grab this one. Where's my nature scenes? All right, I want to start with these ones here first. What I'm missing on these is skies. I'm not going to do any sentiments tonight, you guys. That's just too much. I can decide sentiments. I know you guys can decide sentiments as well. So I'm going to do sky on these before I do what I want to do with these. So these are from Anthony's Papercraft, who's no longer in business. I do a lot of scene building now with Peddler's Den, and she uses these brushes for her skies. Now, I've been using cotton balls and been getting a great result. These, I've tried once tonight. Haven't tried them otherwise. My friend Anthony from Anthony's Papercraft is going to teach me how to really use these, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to put some sky on these, die cut these up, plop them on some paper, and then we're going to make some cards, okay? So I'm going to start with this one and finish this off. So what I want to do is I just want to take a little yellow orange, and these kind of soak up the ink pretty good from what I could tell when I first did this. So I'm going to just put on the horizon some yellow here right on my horizon. And from what I've seen from Tanya from Peddler's Den do with these, just very, very fluid. You just kind of build this up and fade out. So you can see I'm just making this a little more intense right there at that ridge line, following the ridge line, like so. I'm going to grab a little orange. I just want to throw a tiny bit of orange, I think, into that. Right at that ridge line, like so. Just a tiny bit. I'm going to pull the rest of this out. Okay, now what I want is just to add a little bit of blue, and I'm going to go for my dark blue around this edge. And pull that down. Just getting my edging in there. Not to overlap that yellow too much because that'll get me green. Color theory, right? Yeah, April, these are pre-made card bases that Anthony's Papercraft used to sell. Again, like I said, he's not in business anymore, but they're great. I take these when I travel and color them with color. These are colored with colored pencils, by the way, Prismacolor pencils. And I'm going to grab a brush here. And they come pre-cut, all ready to go. And then I just put them aside until I'm ready to figure out what I want to do with it, to be honest. All right. I like a little distress a lot of times, so we're just going to take what's left of my distress brown here. I didn't even re-ink this up. I just grabbed the brush and adding that in. I'm going to have to redo this edge because we're going to cut this down anyway. Okay, that's it for that. I'm going to grab my... I'm going to do the same exact thing over here on my train. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy. Same thing. Start with my yellow and throw that yellow into my horizon. I got a really cool die for this one. I'm so excited. Found it at Pink and Main, and I'm just addicted to those Pink and Main dies right now like nobody's, like crazy. Get a little bit of orange right down there at the horizon. I like, this is, I'm not kidding, this is like the second time using it. First time was before I started my live just to test it. And I'm really digging these a lot. That goes that way, that goes that way. Plus, it's just something different. It's like a different tool, right? I'm not going to edge this one because this one's going to get, most of this is going to get covered up anyway. And I am just going to throw some brown down here so I don't have any white showing once I get my die cut done. I'll place the die cut accordingly so it kind of frames what I need it to frame. Okay, this one here, I am just going to, let's see, I want to just slightly cut this down a little bit. So just let me grab my rectangle dies and see, I think I just want to go down one size or two. I want to make sure I get that sentiment in there too. I'm going to go down two, like so, and die cut that up. And then a simple embossed background, dark green, and probably some craft, and then we've got this card done. I'll be honest, if you a lot of these things that are in my scrap bucket are at some point what I felt was a mistake or I screwed up on for what I was originally going to do it, and then I just throw it and keep it for later to turn it into something else. So like I said before, I just very rarely throw any of these scraps away. All right, I have my die cut machine right behind me, so just give me 1 second to run this through. I've got like things spread out all over tonight behind me and in front of me. I started like getting things out like, okay, I might want to use this and I might want to use this, and it kind of got me excited though because I'm not making anything specific, which brings back for me the fun, right? It's that fun in crafting again. Okay, I'm going to take that brown on these edges that I just cut and redo that a little bit, like so. And now I'm just going to grab a dark green and some craft. Look at this like stash of craft going on here. I'm just grabbing colors. And I need kind of a deeper green. Let's see what I got here. Let's do... Oh, let's see. I thought I had... I'm gonna go on that. Sorry, you guys. I just thought I had a deeper green. I had a fall mix in here somewhere. Here it is. There we go. I knew I had it. I picked out this embossing folder by Gina K because I thought it just had a very woodsy, kind of mountainous kind of feel. So we are just going to go, this is 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go down a size from the main card. So I'm just going to go 5 inches by 3 3/4. That gives me enough to go around. Yet, absolutely does. Run this through the embossing folder, like so. All right. Perfect. Just subtle. Nice and subtle little embossing on that, right? I'm going to put this on craft. So I'm going to go full panel on my craft. I'm going to go 5.5 by 4 1/4. And we're going to glue these together. And let's see. Just a subtle, nice little subtle background on this one. Make that coloring and everything else the focal point of my card. Like so. And then we'll take and give it some dimension and pop that up. We've got card number 1. Here's the thing I like about doing scrap cards too, is like, you know, when I originally colored this piece, I will tell you for sure, this card was not the intention of this piece. I think originally I had some plaids and things in mind, but after I colored it, I was like, I don't know, keep it for later. So this was definitely not the original intention of this card, I can tell you that. Pop that up. Oop. Little tear there, but that's okay, because you know what? I could actually go back and put some leaves or something in the corner. Okay, that is card number 1. Now we're going to take and go on to card number 2, which was my train. My train, I got this really cool frame die set recently, and I want to use this full panel and frame this piece out and call it a day. But to put, what do I want to use for a frame? I wanted it to be travel themed or related to some degree. So I have a 5.5 by 4.25 piece of cardstock that I pre-cut. I have this travel themed paper pad, and I think I just want to go with something like a map of some sort. There's some really cool maps and things in here. Let's go back. So I've got those colors. And I want the map to pop a little bit. I think, and what I need to do, because this is kind of thinner paper, is I'm going to glue it on. Ooh, that one's kind of cool. The cardstock, and then emboss it out. Just want to make sure I'm grabbing the right color of one. Yeah, we're just going to go this bluish one I had back here. I think we're going to go this one. I'm just going to cut a piece of this out, glue it onto that cardstock, trim it down, and then cut that frame out. And then pop that frame up. Like so. And I'm only doing this just to strengthen this paper because it's so thin. That's it. That's the only reason why. No other particular reason at all. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is just I'm going to trim that so I can kind of see where my edges are to lay that die cut on there. Cut this out, set it up on dimensionals, and that's my card. Easy it's just so easy. All right. Full panel on this one. And run this through my die cut machine. These dies are so cool, I can't even stand it. All right. Yeah, April, this frame die is so cool. And all the layers that come with it. Like, look at all these layers that come with it. So again, I can keep this piece, even though I just tore it a little bit, but I can cover it up. I'm going to keep this piece. That's going in my scrap bucket for another card. Then I'm going to take the frame piece, get all my little trimmings off here. I have to cut some of these just to make sure. Got it. There we go. And we have ourselves a full-on frame. Again, I can tell you, I didn't have this die anyway. Not my intention of this drawing when I originally colored it. That is guaranteed because I didn't have this frame. I literally just got this in the mail today when I got back from a trip. Okay, now that's why I colored that white down there. And we're just going to pop this up on dimensionals. And that will be my card. And I'm just going to use these strips, because they're kind of thinner, to go all the way around. like so, and just edge this out. All the way around. I'm curious, like how often, you know, put a comment in there. How much do you guys use your scraps? I mean, I'm a scrap hoarder, so I can tell you I use mine all the time, even on design team cards, you name it. I'm not shy about it. Some people are scared about scraps. Some people just don't waste their time with scraps. So just curious, like if you guys use yours up, or what do you normally do? All right. And now I'm just gonna lay this around. Again, I'm not doing sentiments tonight. I would probably put the sentiment maybe in the corner of this frame. I could put it just down in the corner right on the drawing itself. I could add more to this too. Like it'd be cool to have some travel elements, maybe some like if you got a stamp of a compass or anything like that to put in the corner. I'm not going to embellish this tonight because I might actually do that and cut out some leaves or cut out a compass or something to put in the corner. All right, just put on a little bit of glue just to give me a little bit of wiggle time. All right, pardon my head for 1 second here if it's in the way. I love this new die. Absolutely love this new die. And what a great way. It's almost like framing out your own piece of artwork, actually, because of all the coloring and stuff that I've done. Okay, here's card number 2 of a drawing that I did. Now what I want to do is I had this piece. This is the last backgroundy one I want to do. And on this one, I did for a video where I had used the press-ons, those rub-ons, excuse me. I did a stencil. I took a jar, put a ring around it, and made a ring for a wreath. Put my rub-ons around it. Did a video on it, threw it in the stash, right? Now what I want to do with this one is I actually want to take one of these. And this is, was this the next one down? Let me get these out of my way so I don't start losing stuff here. And I just want to make this the focal point on top of a card, and that's it. So I'm going to take this one. That's it. That is all. Oh, you know what? No, I don't. Yes, I do, because I like the frame. I was going to use, I have another teardroppy one. But we're gonna, I like this one. Thank you. Isn't it kind of fun just to see when you get these scraps and then you turn them into something? I think it's fun to do these. Because then you're like, oh yeah, not how I was going to do that card. And look at this. I'm cutting off some of this. I don't care because it was originally made for a video and didn't have a card in mind for this one at all. So this one we're just going to go with. Even if I cut some of this off, right? So, yes, we're doing a little bit of die cutting tonight because of all the new stuff I bought. Now, I can turn this one. I know I say don't throw anything, but that goes in the garbage. Done with that piece. I've used this one to its degree. Ooh, that's cute. That is really cute. I think what would be fun for a background on this. Let me grab, I got a couple things here. So I have some things ooh, what's this one? Because this matches. That almost matches. That almost matches. We're going to go with this one. But what I'm going to add to this, I think, is just a little bit of splatter. But I'll do that after we emboss. Let's emboss this one. Let's see. What do I want to emboss, or do I just want to, yeah, let's emboss something on that. Should we go leafy? Should we go design? Let's see, I don't want it too crazy. And because of those florals, we're gonna go, I feel like something just simple. Not stars. Oh, this one, because this has got a nice little lacy kind of pattern. So we're going to go this one. This is the Crisscross Floral by Simon Says. Okay, throw this in. I need this to make sure that it goes the up way. This is a 3D one, a little thicker, right? All right, run this through my embossing folder here. Make sure I got a good impression on that. Oh, I did. Great impression on that. See if you can see that. See? All right. That is that one. I don't know if I've ever, I think I've used this embossing folder once. And I like that, actually. Yeah, and you know what I'm going to do? We're going to just take a little bit of some distress. We're going to use a little bit of distress on this. Little forest moss, maybe, or... Ooh, bundled sage. Okay, here's my testing, guys. These are how I get these sheets. And I think bundled sage is soft enough that I like that, actually. Much better. All right, we're going to take some bundled sage. Edge this out just a little bit so I get a little edge and separation from my card. Because what I'm going to do, ooh, I like that color. And I'm pulling this in just to get this to grab my design and my embossing around the edge of where this is going to sit. Very, 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 very light-handed. A little heavier on the edge. Very light-handed on everything else for that one. Oh, that looks fantastic. All right, now we're just going to do the same. We're going to pop this up on some dimensionals. Hey, Jim, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Never, never too late. It is a scrappy evening. Instead of doing my Scrappy Short pre-record today, I decided to do a live. And I've done these lives with my Scrappy Shorts a couple times, I think, twice. This might be the third. And I just thought I'm going to go live on this one. It's a little late on Saturday because I was working today and didn't get home until back in town here until this afternoon, late this afternoon. And so I thought it would be fun to do. I just ordered that Pink and May. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. You should have waited because you're probably going to want to buy some more that I'm going to be using tonight because I'm dangerously addicted to anything Pink and Main dyes, and I've got a bunch on my wish list as well. All right, there is my card. We're going to throw this up on, I think I'm going to do craft on this again, actually. I might be craft addicted tonight, but that's okay. Let's see if that looks good. Not quite big enough, so we're gonna go, let's see. Oh, I got this rusty one. Oh, that is perfect. Let me see if I can get that to 5.5 by 4 1/4. See if I've got enough here. I have it's just at 5.5, and I need to trim it down just a little bit for the 4 1/4. And I want to pop this up too, actually, on the dimensional. So I've got 2 layers of dimensional. Yeah, April, I'm going to show you the other die that I actually didn't just get this when I got it on my last order, but I've used it on so many cards, it's ridiculous. It's this I call it teardroppy. I know it's not a teardrop, but it's got kind of the edges of a teardrop or something. Okay. Flatten that out if I can. Oh, me too, Jim. I actually, that's why I actually buy it in just bulk, and I buy the sample packs because it comes with all these different colors, because I just use up whatever I feel matches, and I like the sample packs that I get from Cardstock Warehouse for these. And usually they'll put them on sale, like when they're discontinuing them or something, and then they'll just throw a big pack together. So that's usually where I get them. All right. I'm not even going to ink edge this one or anything. This just, I like the cleanness of this one. And this rusty orangey colored craft just matches those rub-ons so perfectly. All right. All I would do to this one to finish this one off is I'd probably put a sentiment, you know, if I do, I'd probably go this way and maybe a sentiment right through here, or a sentiment this way, depending on orientation I decide. But that's it. This started with a rub-on sample that I was trying rub-ons on a video with. So that is card number 3, you guys. Okay, now, sorry, I'm getting out my notes because I wanted to do a couple of these for sure. I did the plane, I did the train, I cut out the frame. Then I did that one I was going to cut out with a different one. And then the barn. Oh, this barn. Hang on. I wanted to do this. This barn is another one of those card panels, April, that you were asking me about. And I've already cut it down. Then after I cut it, I ran out of time to finish the card. So we're going to finish this one tonight. But I want to try something. I want to use plaid. And I want to use like red. So I just have this kind of this barn colored red that I'm going to try. Then let me grab my plaids. So I have this plaid paper, and I just want to do, where's my color here, because there was, that's not so bad. That's better. Red on red, though. What do I got for scraps up here? It's a scrappy night. I should feel like I should use up some scraps, right? Let me go back. I feel like this green on that red. This one. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut these both down to 5.5 by 4 1/4. I just want full panel again. So 5.5 by my 4 1/4. Okay, that's 5.5 by 4 1/4. And then cutting this one to 5.5 and 4 1/4 because, sorry April, you might want this one too. I'm going to use these edge dies, and I just want to cut a corner of this with something fancy and lay this over, right? So what I want to do is take this, all right, and I think I'm going to do, I like the scallopy one for this country kind of feel, and I want to do this fancier one, I think. And I'm just going to take, and I'm going to change my mind as I go through this. I'm gonna do this in half, because then I'll leave the upper half of that. So I'm gonna run this through and die cut it. You can tell these are, I literally just got these and now opening them as we go and trying here for the first time. Okay, let's see if I can do this without tearing my paper. Beautiful. like that. And guess what? I'm going to do that same embossing folder. If I can find where I threw it from the Gina K one. Actually, you know what? No, let's do this. I had gotten out a wood plank. We're going to go wood. I'm going to wood plank this. Make sure I'm going the right direction. Okay. So if you're catching on a little bit to what I'm doing, is I'm taking these card panels and different things that I had started making stuff out of, right? And now I'm trying to mix it with other elements. I'm trying to add embossing folders. I am trying to, oh, I need to do that one more time. Let me relock that in place. Didn't quite catch. Let's see, go this way. And mix this with other elements that I can then create these cards with, right? All right, one more time with that. So I have to rethink when I take this stuff out of my scrap bucket of what to mix and match with for my textures and what have you, okay? All right, I'm gonna use this side. We're gonna just dirty this up just a little bit. I'm gonna grab my walnut stain and we're gonna go plank side the grooves down because I just wanna drag, yeah, I wanna drag a little bit across this. So I'm just gonna drag and dirty up my planks just a little bit. That walnut stain and now a little scorched timber just to deepen that on that top edge because that's what's going to show. Glue this down. What a great masculine card too. Plaid, I always feel like goes great with masculine cards. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, and then I think I can just pop that up just like so. I don't think I want to even add another frame to that. I think I'm just going to leave it as is and keep that like simple. Okay. Using my strip tape here. Quarter to it, I would like to at least get through the next two categories here with at least one card of each. So if you guys are game and hanging with me, we'll get through all three categories here. If you are just tuning in, I broke down my scraps into three categories for tonight. Pre-colored items or elements that you never did something with. That's what I'm just finishing up here with this last card. Then I did backgrounds, so pre-made backgrounds and what to do with them, and then tester papers. And so my next ones for backgrounds are easy layouts. Oop, dropped it. Okay, that is card number 4. Again, I already had this. What do I do with it? And it doesn't see the scallop that much, but that's okay. I can see a little bit of it, but then I got my plaid in there. So there's the next one. All these I'll put on card bases, obviously, right? Okay, I want to grab some backgrounds. And this would be a background, this would be a background, this would be a background, this would be a background. I'm going to grab this one for sure. Okay, let me cut this down to the size I want. I'm going to go probably, let's see, let me cut this down. And then I'll show you what this originally was starting to be. All right, I am going to do my favorite, which is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So I just cut that piece down, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Now I'm just going to take, very simple. So what this was, it is the puppy heart stencil from Brutus Monroe. I had ink blended it, and then, or ink blended it out just to get the paws on a card, and then I wet it, flipped it up, and then I pressed that down, and that's what I got here. So it's got some puppy paws on it, but that's okay, I don't care. I got this stamp set from Not Too Shabby. This is called Spread Your Wings. I am going to keep this very simple. I'm going to put my butterfly right in the center. Then I'm going to put the side angle butterfly here, and this side angle butterfly. Let's see how that'll look down in here. If I go then angled here and here, and then I can figure out where to put a sentiment from that. Okay, pick this up. It's new, so I'm going to prime it, and I am just going black, simple black VersaFine Onyx. And again, I will add, oh, that is a beautiful stamp. My goodness. I'm sorry, I'm getting excited because I got all this new stuff, and I thought this would work great on scraps of all the stuff I had ideas for. Okay. Take this away because I'm going to get out another stamp for the next idea. Yeah, I didn't wash them. We'll wash them later. No big deal. Thanks for hanging with me, you guys, so very much. I appreciate it. It's always so fun to have a great audience and you guys in tune and interested in things. I'm going to do two things with this. I am going to take my light blue and I should have, we'll go this pink. Yeah. We'll use some Brutus Monroe cardstock in that one. Pink lemonade. All right, I'm going to do, I think I want it this way. I'm just comparing, yep, we're going to go this way. So, full panel on this one. Five and a half by 4 1/4. I'm going to take it down because that one is 5/8. So I'm going to take this down to just under 5 3/8, and just under, this is going to be about, let's see here. I gotta go back 1 2. So this is just about 4. See if that's right. That should go like that. That should go like that. And I did not do that right. So we're going to cut this down just a tiny bit on my card itself. So I'm going to take off a 1/16 on each side. And I think I need to do the same. Yep, 1/16 off the bottom and top. And then we're good to go. I usually don't. Like, math-wise and stuff, I just do what I just, sometimes I'll do it just to make it work. That works for me. And this one, I'm not going to, you know, let's just keep this one simple. Let's just glue this all together. Again, this was, I didn't want to waste the ink from when I did the stencil with the puppy paws and did a rainbow puppy paws. I made a sympathy card for a friend for a dog that passed away. And then I just took and wet the top of the stencil down, flipped it upside down, put it on a piece of paper, threw it in the scrap bucket, and saved for later. Because why waste that ink, right? And then just a little extra blue around that edge. And you guys have yourself another card out of a scrap of not just wanting to waste ink, right? And I'd add a sentiment probably like right over here. I could even add a sentiment kind of come across. You know what would be fun is I could even go in and enhance these with, like, I do some yellow because that's through the yellow. I do some blue in here. I might do some orange. So I could color this with some colored pencil or leave it black and white. Either one. All right, there you go. Next one I want to do for you is this one. I love cutting these in half and using it and getting 2 cards out of it. But what I want to do is I want to die cut these out. So I'm going to get back out my, let's see here. Actually, I'm going to use this one because I was already teasing April with this die set. This is my other die set that I absolutely have fallen in love with and use a ton from Pink and Main. And this one is called the Mod Stitched Rectangle Dies. I love the shape of this die. I just absolutely love it. So we're going to make 2 cards out of this one. Incredibly simple cards out of this one. And no embossing. All right, let's just cut 2 panels off of this. And I'm going to run that same die through twice on this one. Okay? All right, let's get my die cut plates out here. So I love the fact, so like what works really nice is just cutting these directly in half and using just those cut or get 2 pieces out of it like this. You could do 2 rectangles, 2 shapes, 2 whatever you want. And then you're using up 98% of this whole panel scrap. And this one, I'll be honest, I can't remember what this one was actually intended for originally, but see, a couple people have popped in, so welcome you guys. If you're just hanging in the background, cool. Cool, cool. Feel free to grab your scrap bucket and stash along if you would like. All right, now all I do is take these card panels. I'm going to cut these down just a little bit, and then this just is going to go on white. I'm getting some ink on stuff, so let me just wipe my fingers here with some alcohol and get that off my fingers. Handling all this inked up stuff, I think. So I'm going to cut these down. Let's see, what do I want to do? Because I think I'm going to cut this down about, do that same, 5 1/8 and 3 7/8. All right. This is just going to go right here. But what I think I want to do is just give this a teensy bit of, let's see, I've got some blues in there. So we're going to go just a teensy bit of splatter. All right. And I'm just going to grab a blue, splatter this up a little. that good and wet. Just some. Don't just around the edges is all I want for this one. Okay. Dry that really quick. Then I'm going to grab, let's see, I think I want to try this set on this one. I grabbed out so many sets of stampy things and stuff as I was getting ideas. All right, either that one or this one. Okay. Here's the simplest thing you can do. So we're going to take this, I'm going to line this up at the top here because I need an overhang on the bottom. I got this set from Stamptember last year. Got this one this year, but too big. I don't want to do that whole thing. I just want to do a floral. So I'm going to just take one of these fun little florals. I think I want to do this one. And we're just going to put this floral in here. I'm going to leave some, let's just cover the whole thing. All right, now, you guessed it, I have gold speckles in there. So I'm just going to take this. This will be my last card for this. I know we're at 3 minutes too, but I want to do a tester one for you all. So after this one, I'll move on because I would do this second piece right here. I would do exactly the same. So I got a twofer. I would do exactly the same, two same cards. I could switch up the floral. I could just stamp this black, whatever you wanted to do. For me, I would just do two of the same and call it a day, and then you got two cards. These would be great. Get well cards, sympathy cards. All right. And we're just going to go. I know I didn't powder this. Just thought of that. But that's okay. If I get a little extra gold, that's okay because it's that kind of background anyway. But yes, I probably should have powdered that. All right, let's just heat emboss. What do you guys think? Are you getting some ideas? Let me know in the chat. Are we digging this? Are we getting some good ideas? Is this inspiring you to grab out that scrap bucket and just start destashing? And you know what? Honestly, sometimes the best destash is just keeping these as simple as possible. And you can end up with some great cards. Hang on, I guess I didn't silence my phone. I apologize. All right. Now, I'm just going to take on this panel and let me get my thin stuff out. It's small enough that I could fit these pieces better. Like so. Hey Jay, welcome my friend. I was traveling yesterday for work, because I travel for work, and missed your Craft Roulette episode. And so I got to catch you on the replay, and I haven't had a chance because I was flying home today, and then I prepped for this. But I promise, my friend, I will watch you on replay and find out what your parameters were and what your card was, and I can't wait to see what you guys came up with. So welcome, welcome. All right, now make sure I get this nice and centered. I probably could have die cut this out too. That's it. Now what I'm going to do is I'll just throw this up on. I think this would look good with like that teal or that purpley color. And I have wonder if this is too dark. No, I kind of like that because it's pulling that little splash of purple out of there. So we're just going to cut, again, I cut another scrap off of my folder of purple here. I'm going to use full panel, 5.5 by 4.25 on this one. And glue that down. Nice, simple, easy card. Add a sentiment probably right here. I could go across. I could put a sentiment at the top. There's a little bit of space left up at the top there for that one. Well, anything with Mary Gunn is absolutely silly but fun to watch. I will tell you that much. I love watching Craft Roulette. It gives you ideas, and I just love that whole concept. All right, here's the next card. Using background. So this is a background one, right? Just cut it in half and use it as a focal point. You could literally put anything on these. Literally anything. Okay, I want to do at least one more card. I know I'm at the hour, but I'm going to squeeze in one more card if you guys just hang with me, because I want to show you things that I do with these. And an idea that I have to do with these. So I want to get this one out, and I wanted to do this brownish one. All right, I explained to you at the beginning what these were, and these are just me swiping and looking at colors and trying to figure out colors of stuff, right? So what I think I'm going to use for tonight is I'm going to use this one. And what I want to do is I want to add a little bit more to this. So I'm going to grab similar colors of these. There's probably had some spice in there. I probably had some orangey yellow, which I already had, so we're going to pull that one in there. Then I got a brown, my icing, and let's see if I can get a little bit more of a natural tone in there. Just digging through, looking for ooh, this martini green would look great in that. And I thought I had like a ginger. There we go. Okay, here's what I want to do. I'm going to mucky this up more, and we're going to make just a plain old card panel with some sort of stamp going across it off of this, right? Again, this was me making a card trying to find the right color. So I literally was just taking pads like this and swiping it to see what color it was. So I'm going to add a little bit of green into this. I like this ginger, so I'm going to add, it's probably that anyway. I'm going to add some ginger in there, which seems like it's a little dry. We're going to add a little bit of spice in there to get some brownish tones in there. I don't want this blendy. I want my edges. I don't want to smear this and blend this out. I like having the edges when I do some of these like this. Let's just tap in a few more little greens. Okay, I don't want to get this too dark, so I'm happy with that, I think. So I'm going to actually use a die to die cut this out. Another new one. Surprise, surprise. I've had this one in my wish list for a long time. And yeah, so we're going to use this one. All right, I'm going to go about medium size for this, and then I'm going to use this one for the background on a 5.5 by 4.25. So I'm just going to place this where I kind of like the color pattern, right? Right, Jay? I love this. I was making a fall card, I can guarantee it, with the original that was on here. And so I figured let's just go with that. Now, if you look at this, I've got some scratchies in here from testing out a pan. Do I want that in there maybe? Because I kind of like, I'm going to bring some of that scratchy in there actually. And I'll bring this up close so you can see the scratchy that I'm talking about. I was trying to get a gel pen to work because it was drying up on me. And I'm going to add that scratchy in there. Don't be afraid to just, why? Why would you throw this? Make a card out of it, because I can tell you, nobody that you give this card to is going to know the difference. They're going to think it was intentional. And exactly, Jay, it's texture. Absolutely. All right, so I'll run this one through first. Okay. And then don't tear. There we go. Good. Don't tear. Okay. So I have that. I'm going to take this one, and I think, you know what? I had it out earlier. We're going to just stay with that theme for the evening. Let's use up some craft. So let me find where I threw my craft folder here, because I started throwing stuff on the floor. Because it was easy that way. If anybody's ever done a live, you know by the end of that live, you've lost literally everything on your table and everything that goes with it. All right, give me 1 sec because we're going to pull up some, let's see. Actually, I think I have this great mustard. And I think I've got some lunch bag. Yeah. Just some Bruce Monroe cardstock. But we're going to darken that one up just a little bit. And then we're going to throw some mustard on that. And then edge that out. I'm going to do my lunch bag at the full 5.5 by 4.25. Then I'm going to do this one slightly smaller. I'm going to go 5 by 3.75. Like that. Now, I'm going to take, this is my distressed browns. So I'm going to take my, do I want to go as dark as scorched timber on this? Do I? Okay, I'm going to start with Rusty Hinge. And I'm just going to combine these anyway. I'm going to start with Rusty Hinge. And I'm just going to throw in one of my favorites from Distress, Rusty Hinge, on this panel. Again, am I concerned about blendy? No, because that's not blendy. So I can just, if I got darks and lights, I'm okay with that. Right? Now I'm just going to take and darken this up with some scorched timber. And just edge that. I wanted a little smokiness. So on the edge, and I just pull some of that out just a little bit around the edge. Like so. Now I'm just going to take what's left of this, edge this just a little bit. Give me a little something on this piece. I just changed my mind. I think I'm going to take that mustard and I'm going to cut that into this, actually. Will that work? Yeah, I can still use that piece. So we're going to cut that into this. Sorry, I didn't silence my phone. I shut it off from ringing, I just didn't silence it. All right, cut that piece. And here we go. I am digging my new dies. Shawn, what would some of the glazes look on the edges? Actually, that would look great. Glazes, I could do like the Bruce Monroe glazes. I could do, you know what else would look good is just some simple embossing powders. Like I'll do another technique right here on this one really quick. Let me get this little piece done. So I'm just going to take what's left on this one, edge this off. I have to stamp it first, and then I'll show you the other idea that I like to do quite a bit, but that's a great idea. All right. I'll throw this aside for a quick second. Let me grab my Misty stamping tool here. Okay, throw that in the upper corner again. And I think I want to do the other one that I had on this one, which was the other Stamptember one. So this was Stamptember from this year, and this was the Simon Says one. This one actually came with a die set as well. Again, you can tell I haven't even opened up this. This is what got me excited. Sorry about the rustling in the mic. To do this tonight is I'm getting out all this new stuff that I haven't had a chance to play with because of design team things and other stuff going on. And I'm like, I'm gonna play. I got a bucket full of new stuff that I need to use and just create. And that's what I just love about this. I'm actually gonna take and move this. We're gonna risk it. Well, no, let's tape it. I was gonna risk and say, I'm gonna risk it and do a one and done. No, we're not. I'm gonna tape this in. I have a sticky mat, but I'm not gonna waste my time to do that right now. All right, I want this. I gotta look at this again. If I go this way, all right. Yeah, so I want this to lay, it's gonna lay this way, actually this way. Swipe right across on that one. And I changed my mind. I'm going to emboss this one too, I think. I think. We're going to do it. Just because of the color combo, I think would look good embossed. All right, brand new, so prime up this little puppy. I will grab the other little piece I had here though, because it'll look great on that piece for another card and just show you what I think is another great idea on what Jim's talking about with glazes and stuff. Boy, I think it's a group text going on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to silence this. There we go. One more. And emboss. All right. Gold, because I think that just looks great with these fall colors. And guess what? I got some of it sticking. I'm leaving it because I like that. Actually, for cards like this, if it's got sticking somewhere, I actually kind of like that. Gives it a little texture, gives it a little like mixed media-ish kind of feel. Again, you guys, this was the result of a tester paper of just testing the inks for cards to make sure I had the right color on other cards. And I think I'm getting a fantastic background out of this. And I am digging this color combination for sure on this one. All right, let's assemble. And we're gonna 3-tier this one too, I think. Why not? All right, 3-tier this one up. I'm using a thinner dimensional so it doesn't get too thick on me. Do that. Get it on here. I'll show you this one technique off of Jim's idea, and then I'll show you my cards. I'm not doing too bad, so we're doing good on time. It's only 1/4 after, so I feel like I've knocked out pretty much all of my list. I wanted to do a couple extra cards with each idea, but I think you get the idea, right? Or in the concept. Okay, let's get this one down first. And Jim, just to clarify, are you talking like the Bruce Monroe glazes, glitter glazes, chroma glazes? Are you talking about those types of glazes, or are you talking about like a glaze, like a clear glaze, like clear embossing or something like that? What are you talking about? Just to make sure I'm on the right page with you, of what you're thinking. Could have probably went really dark brown on that background, but this works because again I got to use up another scrap of craft anyway, and I just darkened up the edges, kept it kind of smoky. Again, I wasn't going for perfect ink blending because of all the texture on this card, and I'm okay with leaving it not so smooth and blendy. Oh, the Bruce Monroe ones. Okay, yeah, all right. I thought so, but so maybe yes, I will get out one of those and show you on this other piece that's sitting right here that I'll make the other card out of off camera. Oh, I got a little piece right there. Okay, pardon my head. I'm so sorry. Let me get this lined up. I love these dies. Oh my gosh, do I love these dies. Love, love, love. Okay, here's I think we're on what, 5, 6? Again, scrap paper. I was testing things out. You can't even tell that this was not intentional, right? That's what I love about this. Okay, here's what Jim's talking about. I'm going to use this piece really quick, and I'm going to grab, there's a couple that we could do, all right? So because this has got some blues and some purples and different things in it, I could take out and I could do a glitter glaze. And these are all Bruce Monroe products, by the way. I could do the purple. I could do like a chroma. Like this one would look okay, or this one would look okay. Let's see. Where's my opal? Okay. So these are glazes. And so what they are is they're just another medium. So the glitter glazes come in like a clear base, and then they've got glitter mixed in them. The other glazes that he has are like chroma glazes and things. And I'm going to do probably this purple anyway. And these what I've grabbed dry matte. So it's very creamy. Very, very creamy, and I could put this around the edge of this. I could, actually, you know what, let's just do this, because I'm going to do this. Let me grab something to wipe this off with. This will be fun. Okay, this one, opal. This one dries kind of whitish, but really shimmery champagne-y. So here's what I'm going to do on this one. We're going to do a little champagne-y on this with just a little flecks of this one. So I could edge this, as Jim was saying, right? So I'm going to do a little piece because I'm not going to do it that way. I could edge this and then leave that to get some nice shimmer to it once that dries. I could add lots of texture to this, try and wipe that the best I can. And I'm gonna keep this mixed media-ish feel on this. And I'm just gonna smush, because this is going to dry with some clearness to it. Then I could take glitter, or we're going to try this one because it's kind of matchy-matchy. I'm going to take a little smaller piece because I don't need as much, and just do the same thing. So again, another way to use up these scraps, and then just add stuff to it that you did not intend when you first made this piece, right? So I would just let this dry. I'm going to leave it chunky like that, because what I would do now with this, I'm going to be very honest, and this is probably what I'm going to do with this card. I would take this same stamp set again with these florals, stamp one on white with black ink, die cut it because this has die cuts, and I would just put this white flower with black ink over the top of all of this up on dimensional. So I have all this texture, all this, and then set it on another base like I did before. I might even emboss a white base with an embossing folder and then set this on top of that. Is probably where I would go with this one. So just let me set this aside. I'm going to grab a couple things here. I'm going to grab the cards we made for tonight. Plus I want to just grab a couple pieces I didn't get to. And I want to just walk through them really quick. Jay, so these are from, oh yes, vellum would look amazing with some of these. Jay, these are Brutus Monroe pastes. So these are the glitter glaze from Brutus Monroe, opal chroma glaze. This is the Velveteen Midnight Indigo. Velveteen is discontinued, but it is now called Chroma Matte. Let me grab a Chroma Matte just to show you. Let's see, I got a couple. Velveteen glaze turned into Chroma Matte glaze. Colors are same colors if they're still, so he discontinued some, got some new ones, so not sure if Midnight Indigo is in Chroma Matte or not. I don't have it, I just have the Velveteen left, but it's the same product, just rebranded, okay? These dry matte, the glazes, Chroma glazes, dry shiny finish, as does this opal Chroma glaze, dry shiny but with a champagne-y kind of shimmer. Great on holiday cards, by the way. Okay. And this is not a design team video, so I'm not pushing that. Jim had some great ideas, and so I thought I would tell you. Okay, before we review, I'm gonna grab from my stash over here that I had set aside that I didn't get to, and just tell you my thought process on these scraps that I had. Okay. A couple more. Let's see. I had some ambition to make about 4 more cards in an hour, but that didn't happen. That's okay. Okay, again, another piece that I had ink. I don't remember even what I did with this one. Ink smushing, I think, and then I die cut it out and never used it. Not sure why, but this one would be another one. I could stamp, emboss floral on here, emboss anything on here really. You could just stamp something on black. I could do a tone on tone with some pink or some purples or lilacs and stamp something on here. Make that a focal point. Here's one that is already, I had cut this out to make I used the frame portion of this, but I obviously kept this because I can still use this as a focal point as I would this one and the ones that we did tonight, right? So you can kind of see I was going for a theme of just focal points tonight to make these easy. All right, again, this was another the tester page one that I would do the same thing with. This one I actually might just take and cut this down. I might actually add a little bit more ink smushes, stamp a black floral on this one, and call it a day. This one was a pre-colored one again, and I was just gonna die cut this down just a little bit, and then just layer coordinating colors, like 3 or 4 layered colors to this one, and just make a simple card. But I skipped because I did enough pre-coloreds, I felt. This one I wanted to grunge up. So this was a tester of this one, then I tested this. It's 2 different tests, not was going to be the same card. But have I tried pink main? Yes, actually. Funny that you say that. It's not sitting close to me. It's over on the other counter. But I got the Christmas sentiment set that is foilable, and I love those, especially the sentiment ones, because you foil, you're good, you slap it on, and you're good to go. So yeah. Hey, I am so sorry. I can't remember your name. ACS Card Design. I can't remember your name. I'm so sorry, but welcome. I remember you from some of the hops and different things that we've done, and just followed you, and I remember. So I'm horrible with names. So welcome. We're just wrapping up, but feel free to watch the replay. Anyway, I was gonna cut this off this way, use this piece, and I was going to take some Tim Holtzy kind of florals and stamp and then color them, and I was actually probably going to take and like color those florals with gold, watercolor paints and shimmers, or even like perfect pearls, and then just make a card panel out of that one. This one was, I started a card panel and then I realized it was the wrong color, but I was just going to slap this down with some ephemera or some florals around it, and some maybe leaves kind of popping out from the background and stuff. This is just sitting in my stash from a card because I put the wrong color on it, so I had to start over. That's it. Okay, let's review my cards for the evening. Here's the first one. I got a little tear on there, but that's okay because I'm going to actually cut out some new... I am so sorry. I got another new one to show you, and I'm not pushing Pink and Main at all. I'm not even an affiliate of Pink and Main. I got these new little leaves from them, and I might cut some out and just put some leaves over my little tear, and then maybe do a couple leaves here, a couple leaves here. Boom, my card is done. So this is the first one. Again, this was a colored panel. I ink blended my sky tonight, and then die cut this out. Very little light. I didn't do a lot of pressure on my embossed background because I just wanted it nice and subtle. And that was that one. Okay. Then we did the train, and I did a map designer series paper or pattern paper. It was thin, so I glued that down on cardstock. Then I used this new frame die, again from Pink and Main, to create my frame, and framed out my train, and I added that sky to this evening with these brushes. I will find the link. Anthony from Anthony's Papercraft bought these. I paid him for them, but he bought them for me and sent them to me. I'll find out what they are and where to get them. Go back and watch the beginning. There's easy skies and different things. Okay. Then we did the barn that I had pre-colored and already had it cut. I just added the background with some plaid pattern paper and like a wood plank red background. Kind of just trying to keep the masculine feel on that one. This was a card panel that I made on a video, and I was trying rub-ons for the first time. So I did a light stencil background, took ink on the jar and made the ring for the wreath, added the rub-ons to create a wreath. Not crazy happy about it, put it in my stash, and now I used the inside, or the layered version of this guy and cut that out. I already had the background from some, I think I was using cling wrap and mushed. So I used that one as a scrap. I embossed it, and then I put some sage kind of color over it. And then we did this one, which was that reverse of the stencil. I had stenciled a rainbow heart of paws. I misted it, turned it upside down, and used the rest of that ink. Put it away till I needed it. And I thought this would look great. Even though it's got paws on it, I just like the soft rainbow and the butterflies. Just stamped them in black. This was the background I cut in half, but just using 2 dies. Embossed. I might actually jazz this up a little bit more around this. I'm not sure what I'll do yet with this. I might do a little gold splatter or something. And then my last one, which was all that ink testing, I added just more inks on it to fill that in. I didn't have to, actually. It would have looked great with some white space in there. Would have looked fantastic, so I probably didn't even need to add more. But I wanted a really fall kind of thing. And then I just heat embossed some gold with the stamp timber set from Simon Says Stamp from last year. So there you have it. There are my cards and my scraps for the evening. You guys, thank you so much for hanging with me. Appreciate you all. I hope this inspires you guys to dig into that craft bucket or scrap bucket and get out some scraps. Think of other ways you can use them, layer them. Think of techniques. When you do this, think about techniques. So like tonight, I did lots of die cutting because I got new dies that I hadn't used. And no, think of your stash. What have I used, or what do I want to use, or what's your favorite one? Stamping, right? Or folders for embossing or heat embossing. So what can you do for technique off of your scraps to do this? There's just the possibilities are endless when it comes to these things. And look at like this one in particular. I cut the middle out, right? I still got stuff over here I can use, and I might not even blot this. I mean, I got lots. 2 more cards probably out of that, or I could die cut. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take these leaves and I'm gonna die cut the rest of this out in leaves, so I have leaves in my stash because that's the perfect leaves color, right? And I actually might throw some blotchy Versamark on here, throw some gold splotches on it, heat emboss it, and then I'll have gold mixed in it when I cut my leaves out. Okay? Just be creative. Think of other ways you can use this stash and get things out. Anyway, If you like this, please don't forget to hit that, smash that thumbs up. That greatly helps me. Would love to hear if you guys are liking this. So leave me a comment if you're liking these videos that I put out. This was just the live version of my Scrappy Shorts that I do every other Saturday pre-recorded. And I've done, I think this is my third live. And I think it's more fun to do it live anyway. I get more creative as well. So thank you so much, you guys, for hanging with me. I appreciate you guys so very much. Smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you then.